Now that Belk has been completely torn down, construction will soon begin on Gateway East and West, the new residence halls. The two residence halls will have a space open between them that will lead directly to the stadium. Although these organizations aren't as recognized, their members have made a huge impact on campus, such as Phi Sigma Pi Tall Chapters, Dr. Richard Cecil Todd. You can see many of his contributions around campus, such as Todd Dining Hall. Some apartment complexes, like The Landing, use gates to help keep their residents safe. After 5 on weekdays and on weekends, you have to have a clicker in order to get in.
Your visitors or friends stealing your stuff. Having parties and having other people's friends bring other people's friends, and then they start looking at all your stuff because they're in your apartment, and then they'll come back.
Students are more vulnerable to crime during breaks when they may not be at their apartments for a month or more.
And unfortunately, because of the holiday schedules and breaks, a lot of times these apartment complexes can be targets for criminals during those breaks when they know that students aren't going to be home.
North Campus Crossing experienced 18 break-ins during the 2013 Christmas break. Police say a maintenance man entered the apartments using a master key, took money and other valuables.
They didn't just get a master key to break in and be able to lock the door behind them. You have to be given that key.
Some students believe that there are ways to help prevent crimes like this from happening again.
Don't give the jobs to the maintenance people who can't afford rent, because if you can't afford rent and you already have a sketchy background, that's probably not a good hire.
Some apartment complexes, like The Landing, use gates to help keep their residents safe. After 5 on weekdays and on weekends, you have to have a clicker in order to get in. But gates aren't completely foolproof.
They're not completely keeping anyone out. Everyone can tailgate in, someone can climb the fence. There's ways of getting in, but it just takes them that much longer than just walking straight in.
According to the Greenville Police Department, almost all home invasions are related to drug use.
Sometimes students, this is the first time they're out on their own. They may engage in some activities and behaviors that they wouldn't normally do on their own.
According to the National Council on Alcoholism and Drug Dependence, drug addictions can lead to criminal behavior.
Either it's drug dealers or someone selling from someone and they saw your really nice TV and they take your stuff.
Many student apartment complexes tell residents about safety procedures and how to try to prevent crime.
They're not completely safe no matter where they go or what apartment complex they live in. That crime can happen anywhere in Greenville or anywhere in America.
Kristen Martin, Pirate News Network.
You still have all the aspects, but it's just a different take on it.
ECU has 30 organizations that use Greek letters and have Greek traditions, but aren't a part of the 4 Greek councils. Greek organizations such as Phi Sigma Pi and Gamma Sigma Sigma are dedicated to academic success and service.
Since it's an honors fraternity, there is a GPA requirement, and there is more selectivity of who joins.
The focus of these organizations is different from social Greeks, and they have slightly different procedures and traditions.
For social, there's a lot of things about hazing and stuff that you have to watch out about, and not that this hazes or anything, but it's just very different looks upon how you get initiated.
While these organizations are dedicated to different pursuits than social frats and sororities, members don't see much difference.
To me, I see it as Greek. I went through an initiation program and I got close with my initiate class, so I consider it Greek. So to me, it doesn't matter if the school considers it or not.
Social fraternities and sororities advertise their events and themselves everywhere on campus, including large banners on the mall, but the unofficial Greeks aren't as easily found.
But if you're not actively seeking, it's kind of thrown out there and put into your face, and they have houses, and you see more of it in an unsolicited type of way than from a lot of the lesser known ones.
The emphasis on social Greek isn't just found in advertising. Stores around campus sell more social Greek items than non-traditional Greek. Members have to resort to creating or special ordering merchandise with their letters.
I definitely think they get more recognition on campus just because, they have houses and they're promoted by the university, in my opinion, more.
Although these organizations aren't as recognized, their members have made a huge impact on campus, such as Phi Sigma Pi Tall Chapters, Dr. Richard Cecil Todd. You can see many of his contributions around campus, such as Todd Dining Hall. But both types of Greek have similar traditions, such as big little paddles and large celebratory events at the end of the school year. Social Greeks have formals, and organizations like Phi Sigma Pi have a Founders Day weekend, celebrating their chapter's founding date.
I love it. I worked hard to become a brother, and I enjoy being a brother.
Greek life, whether it's social, honor, or service, has a lot to offer students, no matter their need.
I would say if you have the chance to rush, you need to rush. It will completely change your life, and you will find some of your best friends.
For more information about Greek academic and service organizations, visit the Student Activities and Organizations webpage. Kristen Martin, Pirate News Network.
So you can think you're going the right way, and the next thing you know, it's like, you're like, oh my God, I'm cut off. Now what? I'm gonna be late for class, and you start panicking, so like people like all rush in the same direction, and it's just hectic.
Students say the continued construction makes navigating campus tough.
It makes things so much more difficult to get to classes. It takes me a good 5 to 7 minutes longer to get to my first class today. So I have to walk all behind.
And students are not the only ones affected.
And it makes it more difficult to get to my office, to get from my office to Bate, where I do my teaching in Rawl.
But officials say the end result will be a major improvement for students.
We determined that we needed to make the campus more pedestrian and bicycle friendly. Those are major thoroughfares that cut across the campus to the east-west.
One thing that was true is that if you're going through to 10th Street, you sometimes have to wait a long time for students to cross, and so now that's not going to be an issue anymore.
The project has taken over a semester to complete, but there haven't been any major delays.
We haven't had anything that we couldn't resolve, but when you're in the middle of a campus this age with a lot of utilities in the ground, anytime you start digging, you're going to find things.
Officials say removing the road will not keep emergency vehicles from getting to campus.
That's how they'll access these buildings along here. We had to make sure and provide a route for fire and rescue vehicles.
After construction is finished, there'll be a brick pathway connecting Joyner Library to Central Campus.
There will be a much nicer path carrying this large flow of people, east-west.
I've seen bits and pieces as they finish it, and it does look very like new and well put together and stuff.
Kristen Martin, Pirate News Network.
Belk is the first thing you see when you walk up College Hill, and it's just kind of been a staple that's been there for so long.
Previous residents have had good experiences in Belk, but say a change is necessary to improve ECU's campus.
It's like bittersweet, but I mean, with ECU enrolling more freshmen than we have housing, it kind of has to come down.
But others are not as understanding.
They haven't told us anything. We have no idea where we're going.
Once exams are finished in December, current residents will have to pack all of their belongings and bring them home, only to bring them all back in January.
Some people live like in other states that are staying in Belk, so it's a lot of travel, especially for them.
Some students say there's an easier way to handle the change.
With all the freshmen we have, I think it should stay up longer, just so we can all just have a place to stay, and then wait till next year to maybe tear it down.
Students are not the only ones who will be affected. Belk Hall Coordinator Veronica Rodriguez Mendez will be leaving Belk and taking a job as Special Events Coordinator for Campus Living.
I'll definitely miss working with students. I think that's one of the priorities of my job and something I do love doing. So I'll really miss that and having out fabulous resident assistants to work with.
Belk Hall will be replaced by 2 new residence halls. There will be a pathway that will lead between the halls and stretch across 14th Street to connect directly to the stadium.
So as you look up, you're going to kind of see straight through the hill in terms of, it's going to be a nice view, and it's going to look very similar to like how Scott and Tyler look on the outside.
Campus Living Operations Director Ann Lucier says the advantages of demolishing Belk outweigh the disadvantages.
As a landmark, Belk Hall sort of caps College Hill Drive, which is a positive from you can really see it, but from a negative, it really kind of disrupts the campus flow.
Campus Living officials say they're happy the plans are finally underway.
The fact is that whole upper end where Scott and Tyler and these new halls are all going to be remodeled halls. So basically right at the top of the hill will be this really, I think, showpiece neighborhood.
The new halls will house more students than Belk, and many say that's good for ECU's future.
For them to, build more dorms, that just means that the student population is growing, which I think is a good thing.
I'm Kristen Martin, reporting for the Pirate News Network.